Good afternoon, friends. This is Pastor Kelly here with you with the Monday edition of Grace Thoughts. Usually it's Monday morning, but today it's Monday afternoon. I have a good excuse. I forgot to do it this morning. We've been talking about trauma and post-traumatic stress syndrome and how the effects of it. And I wanted to get into a little bit how we deal with some of these things. But I want to spend just a little bit more time defining it and showing you how it may manifest in your life. As I get feedback from folks watching these little 4-minute mini devotionals, that they're finding it helpful. Like when we lost our daughter, how my wife suffered and how I suffered was very different, how we went through it. I had a memory fog. We both had that. That's very common. I would have sweating. I started having night sweats, very common. I don't have them as much anymore, but I still have them. My wife would have the same thing. She passes out. That is called post-traumatic stress fainting. It's happened only 2 times. She's been injured both times, but I don't have that issue. It all depends, I guess, as time goes on, these different triggers. Everyone has a trigger. The times when my wife passed out, there's always something that triggered it. You can go to the grocery store and the person that you used to shop for there, maybe it's your child, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your wife, maybe whatever it is, and you go down a certain aisle and all of a sudden you get triggered with this thought. Sometimes it comes on you physically, most of the time maybe just emotionally, just by going to the grocery store. Maybe it's driving by a certain place that you have these memories with the loss of the loved one, or maybe there's a car accident there where you lost your loved one, and that's a massive trigger for you. I mean, I know in my personal story, I couldn't go back into the room where the shooting took place for the longest time. It was very difficult, very, very difficult for me to even walk into that room. So it can be, maybe if you are a abused spouse, husband who has been under emotional abuse, or a wife that has been under the emotional abuse of a husband who yells at you and physically intimidates you, or a wife that gets emotionally controlling and would just raise the elevation of the emotions to a point that year after year after year after year, the husband's identity goes away because he just doesn't want to fight with his wife anymore. And so then all of a sudden you get to a point where when even simple things happen, you find you get reactionary. You think things that you don't need to be thinking. You think things that aren't even necessarily true, but you're triggered. Just a raised elevation of the voice, and the person may not even mean anything by it and may not even be thinking what you're thinking, but it triggers you because you have post-traumatic stress. You've been traumatized. Your brain has been wounded. It's been pre-programmed or reprogrammed from a normal brain into this traumatized brain. It's now, as we go through life, what people say, locations, memory things that we have, how people treat us, how they speak to us. It causes these certain triggers that will sometimes create another emotional response, maybe an angry burst, defense mechanisms, whatever it is, or they'll begin to, as I like to say, pull us down that dark chain road, that road into a place of darkness where the memory of that event when the trauma took place begins to control us again. Well, with that, we're out of time. God bless you all. We'll see you Wednesday. We'll continue with these thoughts about post-traumatic stress. Bless you all. Bye.